Hyundai Elantra ECU, and this is how we remap Hyundai cars. The ECU has to be physically taken out. Then we rely on our subscription over there, where all the diagrams are stored, where to suck the pins here and the connections here on the board itself. So apparently there is one connection on that board, and these are the connections on the pin side. So it's pretty simple. It's power, ground. So first things first, we have to open this up, which is the pain in the ass part. But pretty much any Hyundai and Kia vehicle, in order to reflash it, this is the procedure. So you have to open it up, then take out the ECU, then open it up and do a little bit of surgery to it. This is why we're the only people who can really do it at a respectable and reasonable price, because we have our own dyno, and if we're doing this, the car can be parked somewhere else, and then once it's ready, we put it back into the dyno. And then if we do need to retune it, we can take it out again, take out the ECU and put it back in again. So unlike every other person who needs to rent a dyno, the clock starts ticking the second that car is in the dyno, and you cannot bring it out until the job is finished. So to reflash a Hyundai car, the fastest possible that you'll be able to do it is in 2 hours. So that's 2 hours worth of dyno. That's just a dyno time. That doesn't include the actual act and labor of removing the cover and then putting the pins and everything. So yeah, most likely it'll take about 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. 4 hours on the place where you rent the dyno. Oh, that's 24,000 bucks already. Done reading our Elantra ECU, and then after reading it, so we already saved the file as you saw a while ago. We're going to do a baseline now of the car, and then what we're going to do with that file is that we have to tune it. So just like any software and program and file that you have, so let's say you have a Word file, only Microsoft Word can open it. You have an Excel file, only Excel can open it. Same thing with the data that you need from the ECU. There's a thing called a editing software, and then there are several of them out there, and pretty much these are things that can open it up, and then it will show to you what the maps are, and this is pretty much it. So all of these things are maps, and when we open them up, it gives you that. So it's basically looks like an Excel file. So this is the RPM, 500 to 6,000 RPM. And then this one is pretty much load. This map is labeled as Spark Advanced Base Map 1. The numbers here are degrees of Spark Advance. If you want to know what Spark Advance is, you better just Google it up. Suffice to say that in order to edit these things, highlight that, increase it, so on and so forth. That's 2 degrees increase in spark timing. So that one Spark Advance, this one is air fuel ratio. This now is also, again, this is RPM, this is exhaust, engine coolant temperature. So these are in lambda. Lambda is air fuel ratio. Once again, if you really want to know what lambda is, you can just Google it up. Suffice to say that the lower the numbers, the richer it's going to be. The higher the numbers, it's going to be a bit more lean. So what we know from these cars is that they do run a bit rich to begin with from stock. So this one we can lean out a little bit, maybe like that. So 0.9 should be okay. We can start with that. And then so on and so forth. There's also another one here for RPM limit. This is something that everybody keeps asking. Can you raise the RPM limit of the car? Yes, we can. You want to make it 7,100? We can make it 7,100. Now the car will rev to 7,800. But here's the thing. Just because you make it rev to 7,800, that does not mean it's going to make power. For all of you guys looking at this, can you please read the context of whatever website that you're visiting on? If you just Google raise the RPM, I am 1000% sure that whatever thing that comes out of the Google search, all of that is related to Honda B-Series engine. Nothing else. If you type raising the RPM of a RAV4, you will find absolutely nothing in Google. or even Elantra, this one, Elantra, raise Elantra RPM to 8,000. Nothing, no surge, no relevant surge results will come out because raising the RPM does not mean you will make more power. So I really wish people would stop asking that. So once we've done all our changes here, we're going to save this into another file. Our naming convention is we normally always use the plate number. So in this case, this Elantra is a TIY775. So when we save it, it's also TIY775 with the additional extension of MOD, which means modified. So it's either it's mod 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Then after that, we're gonna open this ECU up again, put it back here, write it, and then put it in the car, and then dyno again to see how much power we get.